Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today is going to talk about what just recently happened, the Versus episode. So, for people who are like, okay, what did I just witness? Because I was like that. I was like, okay, what I was just witnessing. It turns out that this Versus thing, this special, which basically, if anyone missed it and don't know even how to see it, which I bet lots of people know how to see it. Of course, you guys know. If it's important to watch it and you haven't watched it yet, I'll tell you no. It's not important to watch it. This is why. Because number one, it doesn't have anything to do with the freaking series, both of the series whatsoever. Not like what happened with Shikinger and Decade, where Decade had one episode of it dealing with Shikinger, while Shikinger had two episodes dealing with it, or maybe one. I just know for a fact that Saban's was able to skip it, even if they tried to do it, they wouldn't be able to do it because they have a lot of explaining to do when it comes to that series. Of course, if people are like, "What? What do you mean, man? What the hell is Kamen Rider Decade?" If for any of you Super Sentai fans who started later, which means that you either A, started at Go Sagers, started at Go Kaigers, started at Go Busters, maybe you started way back in the past, but you skipped some, like what I recently did, which I skipped some. I did some speed reading and stuff, but the real important thing is when it comes to the whole side. This is a side note. When it comes to Saban's being okay, what we're gonna do? The Octozord got stolen. So should we talk about it? Should we actually show that in the series, or should we just continue on pretending it didn't happen? Which that's what they did. If they did have something with it, that means that the Kamen Rider D End would have came looking for good powers, something very powerful. He took Octozord, and basically Antonio would be in hot pursuit of the Kamen Rider D End, and basically Decade came there just because. So basically with this one, if I'm just gonna say what is the major messed up point at this, and then I'm gonna carry on with what I was talking about. With Decade, basically Decade, it deals with every single rider that ever was, technically, or the ones that happened the last 10 years. So the only ones we did was Mask Rider, sorry. It was Mask Rider, which means that we will have the 70s version, and then we would also have Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, and you're going to have to address Entertainment, who's going to say, you could use it, maybe, but we want some change, or they might say, we're not going to give you the right to use it, and then that means that they're going to have to skip over that thing. But even so, that means they have at least so many writers to actually make a story about, because, well, you have so many things that lots of people are gonna be like, who's that? Who's that? We never heard their story before. The good news is that there's a few of them that you can manipulate and kind of say it's their own story within too, but also it's more of it's just not gonna work. It wouldn't work at all. So I guess it's a good idea that they skipped it, but they could actually have made something funnier with that. With that said, that was the recent one that so many fans are like, wait a minute, the first team up ever, the first versus one, and they're like, you forgot about Decade and Shikinger. The thing is that with that one is that it dealt with episodes. This one was an actual special. This one actually just had a pure non-cut special versus thing. And the real thing is just with this, it doesn't have anything to do with the series whatsoever. I mean, yes, they had some details that they put in the series, but when it comes to the Kamen Rider, aka 15, along with some of those other dudes that just came out of nowhere, and they're able to make a hole. Yeah, they're able to make a zipper opening, whatever you want to call it. Those guys just was introduced in that special, meaning it doesn't really have to do with anything in the series. So with that said, and besides, I bet chances are that doesn't have anything to do with the series afterwards. It's not going to impact it whatsoever. So yeah, it's different from what happened with Decade and Shinkinger. Not only that, but if you want to continue watching it, if you want to actually get the full story, you're going to have to go watch the the movie that's going to come out very soon. As for people like me, if you're going to be like, okay, I watched the special, oh, I have to watch the movie to find out who 15 is and get the rest of the story, now I'm going to have to wait not only as long as they going to release it in theaters, but I'm going to have to wait even longer than that, which that would maybe take 8 months later. So for the ones who actually get to watch it, they get a better chance to get the experience, while I have to wait longer and longer and longer and longer. But the good news is that unlike all the other ones like Gabu Rencho of music, which that one really was needed to watch because, well, they showed what Battery 23 can do in there. Not only that, but Toba Speedo was really... everything that they showed in that movie was needed to understand, or at least needed to understand Toba Speedo along with their powers and how it works together. But I would at least like to say one thing that they could have done, which is they could have brought Def Ruger back, which they did, but he was demorphed. Not only that, but since she has the Battery 00, and it seems to me that Toba Speedo is very loyal to the song, she should actually been Def Ruger. I'm just saying. Mikoto should have been Def Ruger, or she could have renamed herself to K Ruger Navy, or K Ruger Melody. Whatever name you want to change yourself, you can do it. So, with that said, that's basically what the Versus thing is about. It was just basically a spin-off to get another movie for the Kamen Riders, along with having some of the Rangers mixed up. Well, yeah, I'll say Rangers mixed up in it. When it comes to watching it, you could basically look at my point of view, even though I did watch it anyways. Or you can basically save yourself the trouble and not watch it until the movie comes out that you're able to watch. And then you watch the special, then you watch the movie, and then you could be like, ah, I understand. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was very helpful. And peace out.